The wine industry here started as early as 1839 when a man named George Calvert-Yount was the first to plant Napa Valley grapes. In 1861, Charles Krug established the first commercial winery in Napa Valley. His success sparked new growth for the industry, and by 1889, there were more than 140 wineries in operation. This industry did have road bumps. Prices plummeted by the turn of the 20th century, and the enactment of prohibition became an even greater threat to the industry. After the repeal of the prohibition, the industry began slowly recovering. Familiar wine brands like Inglenook, Robert Mondavi, Beringer were some of Napa Valley's first in this now abundant wine industry. In 1944, Napa Valley Vintners was founded and is a regional trade group with an active membership of over 450 wineries. As you can see, the industry has come a long way from its beginning in the 1800s. Francis Ford Coppola Winery is owned by Francis and Eleanor Coppola. This wine wonderland is located near Geyserville, California, on the former Chateau Sovereign Winery. After living in San Francisco, the Coppola family began looking for a small cottage in Napa Valley that they could use as a weekend retreat where they could make a little homemade wine. The family cottage they found turned out to be a mansion which they focused on restoring for over 30 years. Once restorations were complete, the Coppola family decided to build a new winery in Sonoma County so they could finally create a home for their ever-popular wine brands. Francis Ford Coppola Winery is now the ideal place for friends and family to enjoy award-winning wines, enjoy a bite to eat, and simply relax in a comfortable, casual setting. The winery is influenced by the idea of Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, with a swimming pool, restaurants, and bocce ball courts. Guests of all ages can enjoy the pool, dancing, games, and music. The winery also displays several of Coppola's Oscars, along with memorabilia from his movies. The two-story main building is filled with tasting rooms, a gift shop, and beautiful views.
Hi, my name is Bryce Okada. I'm one of the tasting room assistant managers at Francis Ford Coppola Winery, and I think some of the Coppola core values mostly center around providing a wonderful experience for all of our guests and trying to make everyone's day.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Vicassian. I'm food and beverage manager at Francis Ford Coppola Winery and Rustic Restaurant, and I believe the core values of Francis Ford Coppola Winery are food, wine, and adventure.
We use the strategies such as Porter's 5 Forces to clarify the challenges of Coppola Winery. In the early production stages of Coppola's wine, it was producing about $60,000 in revenue. Nowadays, producing over 1.25 million cases a year, this popular wine brand is now making about 10 times that at an approximated $6.6 million. With 10 wine brands that are home to over 50 distinct wines being sold, with prices ranging from $8 to $50+, these wines can be enjoyed by a variety of different wine lovers. Francis Ford Coppola as well as many other fine wineries, are predicting a breakout year of growth in the fine wine category in the 14 to 18% range. Starting mid-2014, wines priced above $20 a bottle broke out strongly higher, due to the fact that the popular trend of trading up was growing fast. People of the targeted age groups are now willing to spend the extra few dollars to purchase better quality and better tasting wine. With this increase in retail purchases, Coppola Winery estimates that their production and sales amounts will remain at their high consumer rate while continuing to generate positive revenue. For more than 30 years, Francis Ford Coppola Winery has been committed to environmentally responsible business practices and have made it their goal to minimize their impact on the environment by finding ways to produce and package their goods. Francis's vision was to create more than a winery. He wanted you to stay and feel welcome rather than just taste and move on to the next one. He built a pool, movie theater, restaurant, and more to entertain all of his guests. This put Coppola in a niche that allowed him to vastly stand out, yet continue to stay competitive as well.
I am a food and beverage supervisor at Francis Coppola Winery. I've been with the company for 5 years. Of tourists and locals. A lot of times during the summer, we do see a handful of tourists come through. A lot of people, we get a lot of tourists from Europe, South America as well. We also see a lot of tourists also during the winter time. That's majority of our business is through the locals. So we like to cater to people traveling and then also still have that kind of home vibe with the locals. To the winery strictly for the wine. A lot of people aren't aware that we do have a pool or restaurant here. Once they get here, then they see that we have a restaurant and pool. We also have a full bar that most wineries don't have. Is when most people kind of fall in love with the property, because there is more to do than just wine taste. You can spend your whole day here. It's not just taste and leave. With anything is our customer service. We like to make sure everyone's got a smile on their face, always greeting guests as well. That starts from the top down. If our upper management is doing it, then it kind of trickles its way down. With leadership, it's always you want to set the example and always look out for the guests as your number one, and then we kind of get that trickle down effect with the staff as well. That's one thing we do have here is very good customer service. We get a lot of positive feedback from customers on our staff and how nice the staff is. So it goes into hiring, but also the leadership. Everyone, kind of takes charge and sets that example for everybody. To expand a little bit, we have a couple resorts down in South America. Just opened one up in Italy as well. We just opened another winery just up the road in Geyserville, at the outskirts of Geyserville. So it's just kind of slowly building up little properties here and there, but just kind of sticking along the lines of wine and food.
With great wine and food, many people make the journey to Coppola to enjoy themselves with friends and family. Knowing that Francis Ford Coppola is a well-renowned movie director, guests are brought into a place of curiosity and adventure. With a nationwide label and image, Coppola is a main attraction when visiting Northern California's wine country. The Coppola brand and image can be seen throughout the world and has 53 international distributors reaching from Canada, Europe, Asia, Central and South America, and the Caribbean. This strong international networking base allows the company to grow respectfully and connect with others around the world. Building strong foundations internationally will allow the company to create a strong fan base. Social media is a huge factor in the way they involve their products with consumers and allows Coppola to reach more than the visitors of the winery. The website will not only be a great source of information, but allows the individual to take a journey to a distant place filled with wine, food, and adventure.